So I thought I'd make a little video to hopefully clear up some of the questions that you have about your show what you know and your quest before you start working on your next week stuff. So first thing, I want to pull up your show what you know and why I'm struggling with it. So you can see on the screen, so you filled out all 5 locations, which you don't need to do yet. And it's pretty impossible for me to read because the words go over one another. So yeah, we're definitely going to need to change the format of this into, just work from a Google Doc and send me the Google Doc instead of this PDF form. All right. Now let's move on to what was wrong with your week 2 show what you know. So last week in week 1, you mapped out the 5 stops. You mapped out, hey, he's in the garage. Last week you mapped out the 5 stops. This week you were supposed to just write the story for the first location. So according to your outline from last week, that's New York City, but you're going to want to pick a more specific place than that. And you're going to want to describe what happens in that story. And then you're going to want to provide the clues to the next location. So that was all you were supposed to do for week 1, is just this first location. So I'm going to show you an example from a previous student. All right, so you can see this is what another student turned in. You can see the story. My hand shook as I slowly packed my bag, anticipating the trip. I sigh, realizing that I must finish cooking for myself, Pomp, and my husband after this. What work it is to provide for a family. I can smell the dirt of the earth lodge around me. All right, so I'm not going to read all of it. They include sources for where they got some of the historical information about Sacagawea and her journey. And then they provided clues to the next location. So this is what we were looking for the week 2 show what you know, like an expanded version of your location 1 story. Instead of, what you did, which was gave me the brief bits of all 5. I wanted you to just focus on 1 and really develop the story for location 1. So for your show what you know, 2 things. You're going to want to adjust this layout because I can't read it. And you're really going to want to zero in on the story you want to tell for location 1. Forget about locations 2 through 5. Those are for future weeks. Start developing the story that you want to tell for location 1. And submit that as soon as you can. And send me a message when you submit it so I can go back in and grade it. The second thing is your week 1-2 quest. So for your week 1-2 quest, you submitted, hold on, I've got it right here. So for your week 1-2 quest, you linked this same thing, this same PDF, which is a completely different assignment. So for your week 1-2 quest, you are supposed to pick a social issue, mapping social issues in human development. So this could be access to clean water, literacy, poverty, gender equality, vaccination rates, life expectancy. Pick a social issue, and you are going to create a Google My Map about that issue with 5 different pins. So if you look at the example, they picked access to clean water in rural Kenya. They picked 5 different locations and wrote a description about how access to clean water affects the people in that location and what kind of icon they want to pin that location with. So for Narok County, only 55% of people have access to water sources. Many people walk over 3 miles a day to reach a water point. So their icon is going to be a red water droplet to show limited access. Then they did, I'm not going to try to say this town. This community well project was funded by a local NGO and reduced walking time for water from 2 hours to only 30 minutes. So they decided to pin that with a blue droplet to show improvement. So I'm going to show you what this map looks like. So you can see they created a Google My Map. They titled it Clean Water Access in Maasai Communities in Kenya. They have the 5 different pins. They added an image and they added the little description that I just read to you. All right, so these are the 5 different locations and how they all relate to water quality in Kenya. Now, technically, your quest is supposed to take place in the same location as your Show What You Know. So if you're writing a Show What You Know about the Day of the Dead in Oaxaca, Mexico, then your quest should also have to do with some type of issue in Mexico. Since you are doing your Show What You Know about New York City, if you would like to have your quest take place in a different part of the world, that would be fine with me. Or you can focus on something to do with the United States, maybe literacy rates, and you map out 5 different, pins throughout the United States and what literacy looks like in those 5 different places. So that's kind of up to you. So just to recap, your Show What You Know, you need to fix this editing so that I'm reading it, so that I'm able to read it. And then for week 2, the week that we just finished, I want you to really develop the story for location 1 only. All right. So when you're done with it, it should look something like this, with a fully developed story and clues to the next location. Okay. And for your quest, you should be creating a 5-point map that really hones in on a social issue someplace in the world or in the United States, if you want to keep it in the same location as your Show What You Know, with 5 pins that have a description of the social issue you're focusing on, and an image and, sources for where you got the information. I really hope this helps, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions.